Okay, the market seeing a little bit of recovery from the absolute lows. As you can see on the screen, there's been a bit of a recovery, but let's see if that sustains or not. Ashwin is joining us for last hour trades. Ashwini, good afternoon. What have you made of this big decline, and what would be your calls now?
Well, till yesterday it was a buy on dip, but today's rejection, smells very similar to the 11,800 rejection we had, I think, a month back. So this sort of move has follow through, and I don't think it's got much to do with, what is going on here. What it's probably got something to do with is the US election. And now till 9th of November, there is lots of time for uncertainty, and you'll get, your gap downs and gap ups, and, that would give you time to correct. Now, how far we can correct? Last time we went from 11,800 to 10,800. This time as well, at least the first port of call will be about 11,450, 500, which is the 20-day moving average. But definitely this is not a decline that you should be buying today. It will have follow through, and if global markets continue their downside, we will go down as well, because we have a lot of gain to lose as well. Having said that, RIL looks very, very precarious, and it almost got to the target. The call was given at 22.45 or something. So this is a sell with a stop of 22.65, and look for targets of 2200. Bharti Airtel is broken 400 finally. So that's a sell with a stop of 410, target of 385, and possibly because of all this turmoil, gold goes up. So Muthoot Finance is a buy with a stop of 1160, target of 1200.
Okay, yes, Muthoot has done well, but one of Ashwini's call is Bharti Airtel, easily in a bear market of its own. Now, of course, 3 months back it was a consensus buy, but look at the way the stock's fallen from 600 to now 400. It's now trading at March 2020 lows. Rima will tell us why is the stock underperforming so much. Rima?
Thanks so much for that. Yes, as you pointed out, today the stock has breached the March closing low of 404, though on an intraday basis, the low in March was 361. Just one point before we get to why the stock is underperforming. It's actually in the top 10 holding of most of the mutual funds. We had a look at SBI, HDFC, Nippon, UTI, Aditya Birla Sun Life, Mirae, DSP, Franklin. The entire list will come up for you on your screen, and you will see that Bharti Airtel actually features in their top 10 holdings. Now, why is the stock underperforming? One, if you remember, in September, the street was expecting that the telcos or the industry will hike the prepaid tariffs. That did not come through. We're 1.5 months down the road. In fact, in the same period, what we've seen is Reliance Jio is looking to expand its presence in the postpaid market. And third, India continues to remain a 3-player market. When the stock had headed to was trading around those all-time 52-week highs of 600 rupees, the theory in the market was that we are heading to a duopoly. But that theory, at least for now, is pushed out of the window. So that is also adding to the nervousness. So the stock has corrected from levels of 612, which was the 52-week high in May, and now on a year-to-date basis, it's underperformed a Vodafone Idea by over 40%. Back to you.
Okay, Rima, thanks a lot for that. Devin Choksi is joining us now. Devin, good afternoon. First question has to be on Bharti once again, because now we are approaching danger zone, right? Till now, there was a belief that okay, perhaps 400 will hold. But now breaking 400 as well, and it's no longer an under-owned stock. So what do we do now?
Yeah, Anuj, good afternoon. I think for me, the view has not changed much. The company is basically, I think, going to have the new 4G auction taking place, in which I think they'll be participating. Of course, I think the new payment method which the DOT is proposing, I think is going to have some breather, but at the same time, I think it is going to be, asking for good sum of money from all the telcos, and I think the companies which are loaded balance sheet with debt, I think would probably find it a little bit more challenging at this point of time. So I continue to maintain my view that I think either if you look at the Bharti or you look at Vodafone Idea, they'll have to significantly invest into, I think, building into their future infrastructure. And that's where I think the more amount of money will be spent by them. That is a challenge, I think, as far as I think their balance sheet position is concerned. Yes, AGR and other issues are now through. So as far as that overhang is concerned, I think that is over. And I think for that, the market has actually, I think, done what it had to do. But in my viewpoint, I think still, I think another 2 years or so for telcos, I think it's going to be a challenging period as far as I think the requirement of building the infrastructure and putting more capex into it is concerned. So from that perspective, the long-term view is not changing as far as we are concerned. We would like to wait for, I think, Bharti and Voda to probably, I think, do a little bit more better, I think, after a period of time. At this point of time, the view will continue to remain strong for Jio as we have been maintaining all along.
Okay, all right, Devin, got that. Good afternoon. Good to have you on the show. That brings me to the other, consensus trade. It is right now, it's a consensus trade in the market, and that is a buy on IT. Right, and we know companies are delivering good numbers, no problems there. But here is where it gets a little muddled and hazy, because the question is how much price are you willing to pay? Because multiples are being redefined. So how are you looking at the large cap boys, Devin?
Yeah, Surbi, good afternoon. I think the fundamentals are absolutely, I think, robust, and I would like to call them as. I think probably, nowhere in the near past we have seen this kind of confidence coming from all the biggies on the IT front is concerned. And I think largely, if the commentary has to be followed, probably I think that digital and the platforms are the ones which are producing higher amount of growth, including for Infosys, which is probably growing at the highest level as far as I think the industry peers are concerned, 25% plus kind of a growth in that particular area of activity. So fundamentals are definitely in place. In my viewpoint, I think the market is driven largely by the inflow and outflow of funds, and that's where I think the traded market is operating. To me, I think the market moved up, I think, ahead of results. And probably, I think now the correction is happening in the price. Maybe who knows when, etc. But at the same time, I think if these traded funds are likely to buy into IT, probably they would be buying at a lower levels because the flow of money still continues. Of course, subject to, I think, the second wave of the pandemic, I think, in the global markets, particularly the Western markets and all, which I don't know, I think, which other countries, I think, fully prepared for. I think that could have its own challenge. But I think otherwise, IT as a space, I feel that I think would be ended up attracting more money from the traded funds. And that's where you could possibly see buying emerging at lower levels.
Okay, talking of IT, Mindtree is at the low point of the day now, also in F&O ban. HCL Tech, in fact, today's top losers are mostly IT names. Tech Mahindra as well. Coforge, which was down, I think, 6% yesterday as well, is down quite a bit again today. One sector which stands out on the strength side today is the gas sector or allied stocks. So whether it's Mahanagar Gas or Petronet, LNG, IGL, that's a space which is looking good. So even in a weak market, just put out some of these names, IGL, MGL and Petronet, all looking quite good. Devin, any thoughts on the space and any picks here?
Anuj, I think till yesterday, I think they were looking down. Today, I think they're looking up. I think nothing has changed in between. As I see it, I think the fundamentals of these companies are going to be more driven by the utility valuations. I think that the companies would continue to get. At the same time, I think they would be trading largely because of the new gas policy. I think by procuring gas from the online platforms as they would get, and probably I think selling it to the consumer. So from that perspective, they would be spreading the working on the delta that typically I think would like to be seen as a profit margin. And I think based on the IRR rate of calculation, they would be possibly commanding the price as well. But beyond that, I think I don't have much calculations to offer. Yes, in respective companies, I think you have the volume numbers to talk about based on the new circles that they would be adding. And I think the higher amount of growth they would be producing. But we don't have any particular preference per se as far as I think this business is concerned from the investment in the portfolio is concerned.
Okay, all right, Devin, stay on. We have to take a break, but then lots more coming up after that. First of all, of course, we're going to get you a global roundup with this risk off. And then Anuj is analyzing a very interesting company in our special segment of the charts. He's going to be looking at something in the specialty chemicals play. So we'll tell you more about it in just a moment. And then we get chatting with our Alpha Manager of the Day, Harish Krishnan, Senior Vice President and Equity Fund Manager at Kotak AMC.